Welcome to geometry. In this lesson we will learn some basics of geometry. We will learn about lines, line segments and rays. So let's begin with the line. Line is something that can be extended in both directions infinitely. In other words, a line is something that doesn't have a start point or an end point. As you see here, this is a line which can be extended in either directions. It doesn't have a start point or an end point. Lines are denoted either using two letters like AB with a line on the top of AB and two arrows, which tell us that this can be extended in both directions. So that's a line. And sometimes lines are also denoted using small case letters in short form like L, M, N. So these are also used to represent lines. Next, let's look at line segments. Consider a line L as shown in the figure and take 2 points on that line P and Q. PQ is called a line segment. A line segment has a start point and an end point, and a line segment is part of a line. So PQ is a line segment, and PQ is denoted with PQ and a line on the top of PQ without any arrows, which tell us that there is a start point and there is a end point. Now let's learn about rays. Take a light bulb for example, and if you observe the light rays coming out of the light bulb, you see that they start at the bulb and they continuously expand out in the other direction. So a ray is something that has one starting point and the end point is undefined. So it starts at one point and can extend indefinitely in the other direction. Rays are represented with two letters PQ and a line on the top of PQ with one arrow. Another doesn't have an arrow. So it starts at one point and expands out indefinitely in the other direction. So that's a ray. In this lesson you learned about lines which do not have a start and end point are denoted with two letters AB, a line on the top of AB with two arrows, which means it can be expanded out in both the directions indefinitely, or using small letters like L, M and N. We also learned about line segments. Line segments have a start point and an end point, and both those points lie on a line. In this case PQ is a line segment, and the line segments are denoted using PQ and a line on the top of PQ without any arrows, which means it has a start and a end point. Lastly, you learned about rays, which has a starting point and no end point, which means it can expand out indefinitely in that direction, and they are denoted with two letters PQ and a line on the top of it with arrow on one of its end, which means that it can expand out indefinitely in that direction. Now let's consider a line L with 2 points on it, P and Q. So the number of points over here are 2 and the number of line segments are only 1, like P, Q. If we add another point R, now we have 3 points and the number of line segments that you can see here are 3, right? PQ, QR and PR. Similarly, if you add one more point S, you have 4 points, and number of line segments that you have now are PQ, QR, RS, PR, PS and QS. So you have in total 6. Similarly, if you continue, if you have one more point T over here, you will end up with 10 line segments, and you can do it as an exercise to identify all the different line segments which constitute those 10 line segments. So if you observe closely, there is a relationship between the points and the number of line segments. So basically the formula to calculate the number of line segments given the number of points is PC2, where P is the number of points. So in probability, this is called a combination. So what this means is it is P into P minus 1 by 2. So that's the formula. So if you have 2 points, you apply the formula and you'll get 2 into 1 by 2, which is equal to 1. Similarly, when you have 3 points, you'll have 3 into 2 by 2, which is 3. Similarly, when 4, you have 4 into 3 by 2, which is 6. finally 5 into 4 by 2, which is equal to 10. Next, let's learn about collinearity. If three or more points lie on the same line, then those points are called collinear points. So here PQR are collinear points because there are 3 points and they lie on the same line. Similarly, if you have one more point S, all 4 points are said to be collinear points. But if you have two lines L and M and PQ lie on L and R lies on M, then PQ and R are not collinear because they are not on the same line. However, if you have one more point S, PQS are collinear because they are all on the same line L, but R is not collinear with the other 3 points.